Hi, my name is Debbie and I have a 5-year-old daughter with type 1 diabetes. My mom had type 1 as well, and she was diagnosed back in 1947 when she was just 10 years old. She had passed out at home and subsequently was in a coma in the hospital for 10 days. That was in 1947, and this still happens today. But why in all these years have we not stumbled upon a cure? Nobody talks about type 1 diabetes. Did you know that over 40,000 people are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes each year? And that's in the United States alone. And so many of them are children. So let's start talking about it. Let's start talking about type 1 diabetes right here, tonight.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm 25. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 13. I had this terrible viral illness for like weeks. It felt like a terrible head cold. I would leave every single class in school when I had 8 periods a day. I would leave every class to go to the bathroom at least once. I would drink liters of water in a day. And I was a competitive gymnast at the time. And my skills were all suffering tremendously. I was incredibly fatigued.
Type 1 diabetes is not caused by eating too many sweets, not exercising, or being overweight. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. It cannot be prevented, and there is no cure. Without diabetes, here's what happens. We eat our food. Our bodies produce a hormone called insulin that turns that food into the energy that we need to grow and stay healthy. With type 1 diabetes, you eat your food, and when your body starts producing insulin, your immune system attacks the insulin-producing cells, and glucose builds up in the blood. Since our bodies cannot survive without insulin, people with type 1 diabetes have to get their insulin another way. Multiple daily injections. And by multiple, I mean 1 in the morning or bedtime, anytime your blood sugar is high, and every time you eat.
Hi, my name is Logan. I am 6. I have type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed in July. And I get poked 10 times a day. I don't like it, but I have to do it anyway, so. My name is Daphne, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was 20 months old. Even though the pump is better than shots, it still hurts when you do site changes. I check my blood sugar like 80 or 50 times every day.
So then how does the blood sugar number tell you how much insulin? Well, first the doctors have to do some math. They have to figure out the dosing for your background insulin and then your insulin to carb ratios and your sensitivity factor. That's how many points 1 unit of insulin will drop your blood sugar. And then you have to do some math. So let's say your dinner tonight was 120 grams of carbs. How do you know? Well, you look on labels, weigh your food with a scale, look up the info online or in a book, or just guess. Now take those carbs and divide them by your insulin to carb ratio, and then take your blood sugar number, and if it's high, subtract your goal and divide by your sensitivity factor to get your correction dose. Add your correction dose to your carb dose, and that's how much insulin to give. Simple, right? Too much insulin and too little food and you're low. Too little insulin and too much food and you're high. Yep, all day, every time you eat.
Hi, my name is Christopher Cardeman. I am 14 years old. I attend Adams High School. I'm in 9th grade. I was diagnosed at the age of 10 and a half years ago. So when my blood sugar is low, normally I feel shaky, weak, very hungry normally.
It feels like you're tired or just not ready to move, or you might be wanting to go to bed early. I feel like shaky and kind of icky when my sugar's low.
It feels like somebody's stripping you of all your control. Not always, but sometimes you become dependent on people in your near surroundings so that you could just literally survive. It's as simple as getting juice. Who would have thought such a life saving intervention could be just juice?
When my sugar is high, I feel kind of like crabby and like a little bit shaky.
I normally just get stomach aches and I have to use the bathroom a lot normally.
I just become short tempered. And my mouth gets all dry. I'm super thirsty. I could chug water during that time.
You're sleepy still, but you want to drink water a lot. You are thirsty, and that's what high feels like.
This is the reality that adults with type 1 diabetes live with every day. The reality that parents of kids with type 1 try to shield their kids from while protecting them every day. In the short term, high blood sugar can lead to a life-threatening condition called diabetic ketoacidosis, or diabetic coma. In the long term, uncontrolled high blood sugars can affect your eyes, kidneys, nerves, and heart. Untreated low blood sugar can lead to seizures, unconsciousness, and even death. That is our reality, all day, every day. That is why we need to talk about type 1 diabetes. That is why we need a cure.
To me, a cure would mean being able to eat whatever I want, whenever I want. And it would also mean not having to be pricked and poked by all these needles and stuff. See, I don't remember anything before I had diabetes since I was 3.5. This has just been my life. So a cure would just be absolutely amazing.
I'm a nurse right now, and I'm currently in grad school to become a diabetes nurse practitioner because I want to be able to help other kids the way I was helped and help families understand and help families overcome what can very well be an extremely challenging daily battle that they're in. I jokingly say I'm going to have an anti-diabetes army one day.
I hope there's a cure because I hate having diabetes, but I have to get pokes anyway, like I told you. And I want to poke a medicine to take it away. I really want a cure for type 1 diabetes because it'll make all the people that have type 1 diabetes not have it anymore.